Pinocchio by Carlo Collodi. There once was an old man named Geppetto who lived all on his own. His dearest wish was to have a son to keep him company. And so one day he decided to make a puppet. He called it Pinocchio, and the puppet called him Daddy. And that was the start of all his troubles, because this Pinocchio was a naughty little puppet. While Geppetto was still carving it, the puppet laughed at him, stuck out its tongue, and even kicked him. "Hey, that's no way to treat your father," said Geppetto. "Tomorrow, I'm going to send you to school to learn some manners." "But I don't want to go to school," said Pinocchio. "All children have to go to school," said Geppetto. "Then I don't have to go," said Pinocchio, "because I'm a puppet." And as soon as Geppetto had finished carving his legs, he ran out of the house. Geppetto rushed after him, but by the time he got to the doorway, Pinocchio had disappeared. Pinocchio ran through the town. He ran through the fields. He ran up and down the hills. But then it started to rain, and it was getting dark. And Pinocchio was so tired and hungry. Oh, what had he done? Meanwhile, Geppetto had spent all day looking for the puppet and was sitting sadly at home when there was suddenly a knock on the door. When Geppetto opened it, in came an equally sad-looking Pinocchio. They were so pleased to see each other that they hugged and hugged. "I'm sorry," said Pinocchio. "I've been so silly. But I thought about it, and now I really would like to go to school and study." "Good boy," said Geppetto. "But I'll need a school book," said Pinocchio. That was a problem, because Geppetto was very poor, and he couldn't afford to buy one. Early the next morning, he put on his old overcoat, and even though it was snowing, he left the house. When he returned, he was carrying a brand new school book. Pinocchio's eyes lit up. "Thank you," he said. "But, Daddy, where is your coat?" "Oh, I sold it," said Geppetto, shivering. "It was too hot." But Pinocchio knew that wasn't true. Geppetto had sold the coat to buy the school book. Pinocchio was so grateful that he threw his arms around his father's neck and gave him a big kiss. Skipping down the road on his way to school the next day, Pinocchio heard music in the distance. He followed the sound, and when he came closer, he saw a crowd of people gathered in front of a little wooden stage. What was going on? Oh, it was a puppet show. How exciting! Pinocchio really wanted to see the show, but he didn't have any money to buy a ticket. And so he sold his school book to get the money. Ticket in hand, he joined the crowd. The show had just started when one of the puppets saw Pinocchio in the audience. "You shouldn't be out there," the puppet cried. "Come and join us up here." Pinocchio eagerly joined his fellow puppets on the stage, but because he didn't know what to do, he ruined the show. The crowd started to boo, and out came the puppet master, who was very angry. "You puppets have ruined the show," he cried. "There'll be no supper for you tonight." "It's all my fault," said Pinocchio. "I'm the one you should punish." "And who are you?" asked the puppet master. Pinocchio told him his story, and by the end, the puppet master, who was really a kind-hearted man, was so moved that he gave him 5 gold coins so that Geppetto could buy a new overcoat. Pinocchio happily started for home, and on the way, he met a fox and a cat. When they heard that Pinocchio had received 5 gold coins from the puppet master, the fox smiled. "If you want to make your father even happier, come with us to the Field of Wonders. You can plant a gold coin there and water it, and the next day you'll have a tree full of gold coins." "Gold coins," echoed the cat. Pinocchio thought that this sounded like a wonderful idea, so they turned around and headed off to the Field of Wonders. They walked and walked, and it started getting late, so they decided to spend the night at an inn. They had a big meal and a good night's sleep, and Pinocchio dreamed of all the riches to come. But when he woke up the next morning, the fox and the cat were gone, and Pinocchio had to give the innkeeper 1 of his gold coins to pay the bill. Nevertheless, he set out on his own for the Field of Wonders, but on the way, he was set upon by 2 robbers, who were really the fox and the cat in disguise. They told him to hand over his 4 gold coins, but a beautiful blue fairy who lived nearby saw what was happening, and she sent her dog out to chase the robbers away. Then she took Pinocchio into her house and asked him who he was. Once again, he told his story. "And where are the coins now?" she asked. "I've lost them," said Pinocchio. Suddenly, his nose started to itch, and then it started to grow. "Where did you lose them?" asked the fairy. "In the forest," said Pinocchio. And his nose grew even more. "If you keep telling lies," said the fairy, "your nose will get longer and longer." Pinocchio's nose was now so long that it hurt, and he started to cry. The beautiful fairy felt sorry for him and sent for a flock of woodpeckers. In no time at all, they had pecked his nose back to its normal size. "Thank you," said Pinocchio, drying his eyes. "You are very kind, and I love you." "I love you too," said the kind fairy. "Now no more lies, and take the gold coins to your father." Pinocchio gratefully set off for home, but as he hurried down the road, he met the fox and the cat again. Of course, he didn't know that they had tried to rob him. "How wonderful to see you!" cried the fox, giving him a hug. "Wonderful to see you," said the cat. "We've been looking for you," said the fox. "We're just going to the Field of Wonders. Come with us." "I can't," said Pinocchio. "I'm going home to give my 4 gold coins to my father." "Only 4?" cried the fox. "Come with us, and you shall have 4,000. 4,000, said the cat.